We were talking about the core of the buffer zones, the core area, and the transition zones of the biosphere reserve. Now we have to talk about another core. What is that thing? It is actually the Earth's inner core. So what is the news actually recently coming from? That is the Earth's core, right? It takes Earth's core. I'll draw the picture. This is a news article which came in Earth.com, and almost most of the newspapers are covering the news that Earth's core, its rotation of the core is actually changing. So it was rotating and it was slowing down. Now stop. Now it is reversed. So that is actually happening in here. So if the Earth is actually spinning in this direction, the core was also spinning in the direction, but now it has slowed down and it has even started reversing. That is the news actually happening recently. Alright, so now we go into the basic data about that part. So you can see the different parts, right? You know the way you must be knowing about the different things. We have the crust here, and we have the mantle here. We can see it is the outer core, and we can see this is the inner core. And even mantle can also be divided into outer mantle, inner mantle, etc. So crust is there, mantle is there, core is there. Core itself is divided into inner core and outer core. I hope you understand. Now I'll tell you one more thing. When we think about the inner core and outer core, the inner core is actually solid, and the outer core is liquid, or you can say molten, or you can say plastic. Three words are used: liquid, molten, or plastic. So that is the words used for outer core, and the inner core is solid. So what happens is that this core is actually having its own rotation, its own direction of rotation. So if the Earth is actually moving this way, yes, Earth is actually moving this way, the core can actually go to the another direction itself. It can go this way itself. It is just outside, but if just imagine, if you have studied in physics in your classes and all, you must have actually studied about magnetisms. So how is actually core independently rotating within the Earth's within Earth? Just remember that the core is having a temperature as hot as the sun's surface. Just the sun we are seeing, the surface temperature, that much heat energy is actually produced in the core. But we are actually safe here, right, in the surface. Why? Because it is too much distance to cover. So that heat will not be traveling to the Earth's surface, one point, and this particular outer core is actually rotating. So when the outer core is rotating, and what do you say, around the inner core, what happens is that it gives some shielding effect, some isolating effect. So these two things, the distance to the crust plus the rotating outer core, combines together to give protection to us. So that is why we don't feel the hotness or the temperature of the inner core. So ultimately the point is that the core has started changing directions. So how we study about that? See, if the core has shifted directions, how we know that? We cannot see the core, right? How we get to know about these things? We look at the seismic waves. So when we look at the seismic waves, this is actually the P wave, this is the S wave. So this part we'll be studying in our geography class. What is an earthquake? What are the different types of waves produced? Body wave, surface wave, and in the body wave itself, we have got P wave, S wave, like that. So you'll be understanding about this particular thing in your geography class. So please don't worry about it. I'm only trying to give you the current affairs aspect of it. So I'll give you basic idea even though still. So what is a P wave? What is an S wave? I'll give you an idea that the S wave can actually go through this particular medium, but when it reaches the core, no, it will not travel through it. So S wave does not travel through the core. But look at this P wave. P wave can still travel through the core. So ultimately, if this is the earthquake region, if this is the point in which the earthquake happens, and this is the laboratory here, we are measuring the seismic waves here. So we are measuring the seismic waves here, laboratory, lab. So when this P waves actually can actually go through this way, when it goes through the core, definitely it will really have deflections. Deflections are there, but S wave is totally absent. So we know that the P waves can go through the core, S wave cannot go through the core. So we analyze the P and S waves. So that is how we analyze, arrive at a conclusion that there is a core. There are multiple layers of the core, outer core and inner core. And that is why we understood that different direction of the core also. So by analyzing the seismic waves such as P and S waves, we arrive at the conclusion that the core is actually slowed down and even started in the reverse direction. So further, this is the very last topic, the earthquake, the different waves and all, purely geography topic. So we'll be going into that. Just know that how we understood the Earth's core rotation has changed by analyzing the earthquake waves, seismic waves, you can say. Which are the seismic waves? P as well as S waves. So just I'll give you one more idea that about the interior of the earth as we are going into the topic. This is the last slide. Just this is the only the current affair thing that the core has started reversing. There is no palpable impact. We will never know what happens down. So there is no immediate danger. It is actually a very 70-year-old cycle. So 70 years the core will be rotating this side, and after 70 years core will be rotating that side. So every 70 years core changes the rotation. That is what we understand right now. So because of this current core change, nothing very dangerous not going to happen. So that is one important point. However, last 70 years ago, there was no satellites like this, right? So just the previous time when the core reversed, there was no satellite, there was no radio communication. There was, of course, but not to this extent. So when the core reverses this time, we are studying our satellite communications, radio waves, etc., how they are changing. That is what we are going to understand. But no immediate danger is not there. That is one point. And the last part of the point, I just want to give you an idea about the interior of the Earth. So this is the core. This is the mantle, I guess. Yes. This is the man. From here onwards, we have to get this. Just a second. Yes. So this is the mantle, this is the core, and this is the crust. Right. I want to give you some of the words. What are the words here? In the core, between the core and mantle, there is a line. There is a line here. What is the line called? It is called Gutenberg discontinuity. It is in your NCERT textbooks. It is in your, I guess, in your plus one textbook. You have got this in plus one geography textbook. You have the very same image. They are actually trying to give you an understanding about the different layers within the interior of the earth. But normally they ask about the crust and mantle and the core. But now they have asked all kinds of questions they have already asked. So now there is a possibility that they can ask you further advanced questions. So what is the advanced question? Discontinuities. It is actually in the NCERTs itself. So what is the discontinuities? It is the border between different layers of earth. So what are the main discontinuities we are talking about? One major discontinuity is the Gutenberg discontinuity between the crust and the mantle. And then there is a Lehman discontinuity, and that is actually between the inner core and the outer core. Right, two discontinuities, Gutenberg and Lehman. Gutenberg between core and mantle, and Lehman between inner and the outer core. So these are, I'm just giving you two important examples. There are many other types of discontinuities. So when we go to geography, we'll be explaining each and every one single-handedly. What happens in every discontinuity, what is below and what is above that, we'll be discussing that also. Just because we are discussing core, that is why just mentioned two only. Okay, Gutenberg and Lehman. So let's go to the next topic. Yeah, this is the thing. I just wanted you to have an idea that this is what happens. That is good. Earth was going this way, core was going this way. Till now, it slowed down. Now it has started reversing in the opposite direction. All right. Slow down, eventually zero, then reverse.